Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the PAPAJO show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe. Really appreciate you all being here today. It's got a fun day so far. A lot of stuff going on at work, and it's nice to step away, unplug, and talk about something entirely different. It gives me a moment to just break up my day and have a minute and just take a second. Anyways, I know we're out here doing some fun stuff. We're talking about cryptocurrency and blockchain and talking about economics and global events and all that fun stuff. But yeah, do me a favor if you're watching live, pop in the live chat. I forgot to share this on Twitter, so I do apologize. It is live streaming on Twitter, however. So if you're watching on Twitter, smash a like if you like the content and or comment on the video there. I can actually see them when they come into when it's going live. I can actually see them in my streaming software here. So anyways, if you're watching on YouTube, say hey. Live chat's there. If we have a conversation, we enjoy the different types of topics we talk about here, and we definitely have fun, I think. And you guys have a great conversation about all kinds of stuff most of the time as well. So, which is a lot of fun. It's part of the reason I just wanted to create this type of community. If you are part of the Patreon, you know that there is a Telegram channel that we all get to talk on. We have conversations on. We share different things. I'll share different stuff that's Patreon type related, different types of topics that are it's still, some of those topics are still difficult to discuss even on Patreon. But yeah, if you're not part of the Patreon, scrolling on the bottom of the screen here, it is set up so that Papa Joe, so I can have a time of uninterrupted, unfiltered, like I don't care if the stupid video gets pulled down. That's why you watch it live. Even if it does get pulled down, y'all let me know. I'll put it back up, or I will upload it directly to say Patreon. So you can, but it's easier to link it if it's got a back end. And if they take the channel down, guess what? I'll just spin up another one and connect it on the back end, and it'll continue to run. So, anyways, if you would like, jump in there, and also if you wouldn't mind help me out with the channel here, subscribe. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell if you want to hear whenever I go live and see when I'm going live. Because I do a show here every day at 12:30 Eastern, and then I do a Patreon show at 4:30 Eastern as well. So I definitely love having you all here. It means a lot to me. So anyways, one of the things I love to do on the show here is part of the reason I try to get the chat running is I love to say hi to people. I know most of you have met most of you, at least my regulars that are in here. So if you're new, jump in and say, hey, we have a fun time. Definitely enjoy what we're talking about for sure. So let's jump in here. We got Daddy-O first. You got first today. Well done, my friend. You guys, this is like a running joke in other streams we're in. We try to see who gets to be first in the chat. So that's very, very cool. Kim, what's going on? How are you? Good to see you. Nithya, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Tom, what's up, brother? How are you doing? Let's see. We got Steve. How's it going, man? It's good to see you. Got Johnny Holder. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. That's pretty much everyone so far. We got Clint Westwood listening while driving. Well, brother, be careful. Be careful. Absolutely love it that you're listening. Appreciate it, man. For sure. So let's see what's going on today. I have to stroke the beard to start the thought process sometimes, right? Anyways. Yeah, so I wake up this morning. Well, realistically, I saw the rumblings of this coming a couple of days ago in Realm, and everybody is freaking out about it. The funny thing is that when you guys know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Biden, Flashbang, signed an executive order on digital assets. Now, why would he go do something like that? Especially when Veritasium has a patent for the digital transfer of value. He's going to have to, the U.S. government is now going to have to figure out how to work with Reggie and Veritasium on making things appropriately configured according to the patent, right? We'll just see what happens with that one. I know that that's going to be a very interesting conversation when it comes to those things. So fun times for sure. All right, so it's gonna be a fun topic today. Yeah, fun topic, fun topic. Oh, I forgot one thing. I forgot to pull up one thing. Stand by. Pull this up over here and pull this up over here. All right, that is one heck of a weird thing there. Okay, and we are going to pull this up. Like I said on my shows, you guys, I pull up the charts whenever we go live here, just for me to take a midday look at what's going on. So we got the Dow's up almost 800 points. Well, guess what? They went down from yesterday. It still hasn't raised itself back up, if you will, from what it has lost. Yesterday, it jumped up and then jumped down, and then jumped back up and then jumped back down. And then we're going to have a jump up. And I would not be surprised if later this afternoon, for whatever reason, it then drops back down. Those of you who haven't noticed, the stupid gas prices across the country have been going crazy. Yesterday, I took kids to swim, and there's a gas station right outside the facility there. It was $3.99 for a gallon of gas. It was $4, effectively. Holy crap. I pointed it out to my wife. I was like, good grief, here we go. We came out, it was $4.29. It jumped 30 cents in like an hour. I haven't looked at it today. I haven't seen it around my area today. I know across the country, I know it's low compared to other places. Realistically speaking, it is. But in our area, that's not normal for it to just jump that much that quickly. It's just not. So something to just kind of pay attention to. Anyways, let's see. Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin's up a lot. Why is Bitcoin up a lot? I wonder. Massive run. Massive run. Seems like it's kind of petering out at 42,000. Let's see where yep. Create a new resistance level there. Let's see what happens. I don't know. That's a really big run. That's a lot of pump in there. Now, why would Bitcoin rise that much on an executive order announcement? Can anyone tell me? Anyone figure out why? I still can't quite figure out. You would think that on the executive order announcement that the prices would plummet, but it didn't. It's not going to. I've been saying this. The executive order is a big nothing burger. I'll just go ahead and tell you all right now. It's a big nothing burger. Nothing to it. Okay. Biden signs executive order on digital assets. United States President Flashbang signs an executive order on the domestic policy of digital assets. National Economic Council Director Brian Dees and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan announced on Wednesday. The U.S. government specified in six main priorities that six main priorities have been listed in the document, which I will show you guys in a moment. The White House will focus on protection of American consumers, investors, and businesses, domestic and global financial stability, and ease systemic risk. Systemic risk to them. I'll tell you that much. Systemic risk to them, to the Federal Reserve. In other words, they're going to try to figure out how they can pry into your business and do what they want to do and know what you're doing with your business. Yep. Daddy, he is. The resident is a Nuttenberger anyway. He really is. Flashbang is. He's not even there. That's why I call him Flashbang. I love that Monkeyworks. If you don't know who Monkeyworks is, you should go look him up on YouTube and tell him that I sent you, if you will. I don't know who he is. I haven't met him or whatever, but it'd be kind of cool to have a conversation with him about stuff. But he has a very different bent on what's going on and follows along in a very detailed manner that is very unique to his stuff. It's worth it, for sure. Subscribe over there. Yeah, pop in his chats if he has them. I haven't actually looked to see if he has them. Say that I sent you. Definitely worth the look at that. Anyhow, it will always be looking to illicit finance and its consequences for the. It will also look into illicit finance and its consequences for U.S. national security and promote U.S. leadership in a global financial system and economic competitiveness. In other words, they want to be the first and foremost when it comes to digital assets in the world. Why? Told you all. I've been saying this. You can't beat Bitcoin. You cannot conquer Bitcoin. It doesn't work that way. Financial inclusion and responsible innovation, including work on the U.S. Central Bank digital currency, CBDC. Here we go. Told you. They're talking about it. Now they're doing it. They're going to build the CBDC. They probably already have. They're just waiting to launch it. And then they will peg every crypto asset related to that CBDC instead of the US dollar. And then they will say that they can track and then tax everything you do with it and see everything you do with it. Now, it is up to the people whether we accept this CBDC and it's tied to crypto, to Bitcoin. Now, I'm sure the exchanges will list it as one of the trading pairs. However, the trading pairs concerned with other assets will probably stay the same. Just a hunch, just a thought. Thinking out loud here, people. Anyhow, this will also be some of the main topics in the Federal Reserve for the federal government and the White House said in a fact sheet. Now, that fact sheet we'll cover here in a minute. Now, very unique. Bitcoin jumps 9% as Flashbang announces executive order on cryptocurrencies. Just key points here because it's a very, very long article. See, these guys write really long articles. But I wanted to give an interesting thing here. Today, Bitcoin jumps massively on the announcement of the EO. Then the market opens and it has to jump higher because of the EOs. Oil prices decline 10%. No. Someone sold. Think about it for just a second. There's a game going on here. We know this. My regulars, y'all know this. Anyone new? There's a game going on here. Okay? Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies were higher on Wednesday after Resident Flashbang announced his highly anticipated executive order on digital currencies, digital assets, not just currencies, assets. Flashbang's executive order attempts to address the lack of framework for the development of cryptocurrencies in the U.S., which critics say could leave the country's industry behind the rest of the world. Yeah, no kidding, because they want to squish it and squash it into a box and say you have to work in this box and that's it. And the thing is they are not realizing this is technology first. They don't regulate Microsoft on what they do build and what they build it for. They don't regulate Apple and what they do build and what they build for. There are other types of regulations around those types of companies, but it has nothing to do with what they do as a business. First and foremost, blockchain technology is just that. It is technology. Bitcoin just so happens to be the first use case that uses blockchain technology. They are separate from each other. Ethereum is a blockchain platform. It has a monetized token, almost like a stock, but yet it's also a right to use the platform. It is a ticket, if you will, to access the platform. Think about ticket to a concert, to access the concert. It's the same type of mentality. You're going to regulate that stuff? Because if you're going to have that standard for cryptocurrencies or blockchain platforms, good luck. The US, they're going to come up with some, I don't know. Realistically, I really think this is just so they have the, this is my personal take here. Realistically, they're just laying the groundwork so that they can say, we've created a digital currency. Everyone in the country has to use this. No more US dollars. As I've said before, where they're going to erase the money they printed. If they're going to erase the money they printed, how would you do that? How would they do that? Well, one way would be to set up a digital currency, a CBDC, and then say, hey, the rest of the world, this is now the dollar, the digital dollar, and everything's going to be pegged to that. Now, if they go and peg this to gold and there's real gold behind it and stuff like that, it may get some traction. But people, I think, realistically, what Cliff High was saying, I really think this, I think you're going to end up seeing this fail. This is attempt 1. He said it'll attempt 3 times. Now, we don't know how rapid succession this is going to be, but I really don't think I think this is gonna fall flat on its face. Since when does any government program of any kind, especially with the Federal Reserve, actually function the way it needs to? Realistically speaking, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Now, there could be people writing policy and all that stuff like that. Policy is only that. It's policy. If you are willing to comply with it. Okay. I have met not most of, a lot of the different people in this industry. The people building the industry, building the applications, whether they're building the actual cryptocurrency, whether they're architecting the next new platform or whatever, the next new world, if we will, in crypto related assets, or specifically in the blockchain space. I've met a lot of different people in that space, and I can tell you, just about every single person I've talked to, their mindset isn't I'm willing to comply with what I'm told by the government. The whole point of them being in this is for freedom. They recognize that it is a disruptive technology, and they recognize that they want to disrupt the status quo. They want to disrupt the financial markets. They want to do that. They're not going to sit here and listen to anything anyone says. And if no one will go along with what they're saying, then nothing is going to happen. These people are up against a massive giant, and they don't realize that yet. They think this is just some piddly little market. They still are treating it like the ugly duckling, or whatever you want to call it, the stepchild. They think that this is whatever the saying is. I don't know. I butcher that kind of saying, all this stuff. Anyways, they think of it as okay, we'll play with this for a little bit, and then it's going to fail. They think it's going to fail, or they're going to try to make it fail. The thing is that Bitcoin's still going to keep going. It's still going to keep running. Ethereum, Litecoin, is still going to keep running. Polygon, still going to keep running. Divi, oh man, Divi. Divi is going to keep really running. Okay, pay attention. Please, please, please pay attention. Understand, this is what's going on. This is just my opinion, okay? This is not financial advice. This is not it's hilarious. Biden says, this is another point of view here. There was one thing this particular article said that I really wanted to point out. Where was it? Well, I don't remember where it's at. Hang on, I'll find it. Let's see. Sorry. Under the order, Biden has directed Treasury Department and other federal agencies to study impact of cryptocurrency on financial stability and national security. National security meaning they can't actually use sanctions anymore because of it. Financial stability, they can't actually use sanctions anymore because of it, and or people can not use the banking system as it is today anymore because, well, guess what? They don't have to. This is outside of the banking system. This is a new technology that they're not really aware of. Brian Dees and Jake Sullivan, Biden's top economic national security advisors, respectively, said in order to establish the first comprehensive federal digital asset strategy for the United States, that will help position the U.S. and to keep playing the lead role in the innovation of governance of digital assets ecosystem at home and abroad, in a way that protects consumers' content. Or anytime they tell you they're going to protect you, they're not. They're protecting their own assets, and this is what I'm trying to say. The entire crypto world, they know that. Most of the people in this are the millennials and newer. Generation-wise, and the millennials and newer recognize what's taken place, and that our parents have been screwed over and our grandparents have been screwed over massively. We understand that. Now, this is something that is outside of their control. Because they didn't create it, they can't control it, and we know that. It's beautiful. That's why I keep saying, and people ask me what's so important about cryptocurrencies and related to me, and I always go blockchain. They're like, well, that's interesting. Why? Blockchain technology is freedom for humanity because it is a decentralized and distributed compute and database that has built-in automation / AI with smart contracts and distributed applications. It cannot be turned off because you'd have to turn off the entire internet to make that stop. If they tried to block specific IP addresses, okay, change IP address. If they tried to say that that code is not blah, 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 change code. If they say that this has to fit in this box, change code. Change it. It's no longer in that box. They can't. They're going to try to hold water. Understand, they're going to try to hold water. Can you hold water in your hand? No. Even if they built a cup to hold the water, eventually the water would evaporate. Okay? It doesn't work that way. They don't recognize this. Very, very interesting. My point of view, I guess, is different, from other people's. All right, so here's the fact sheet. If y'all can't read that, tell me and I will bump it up again. It's kind of long, so I'm just going to kind of bounce around in it real quick. Fact sheet. President Flashbang to sign executive order on ensuring responsible development of digital assets. No. Outlines first whole of government strategy to protect consumers. That's protecting them. Financial stability. That's them. And national security. Since when have they actually cared about your national security? They're trying to build a big bag boogeyman they want to make you afraid of and make you comply. Quit giving in. And address climate risks. You see this? No one's thought about that part yet. I haven't yet to hear anyone talk about that part. They're slipping that into here. The Green New Deal crap. They want everyone on electric vehicles. They want to get rid of the oil. They want to stop blah, 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 blah. Do you understand? I really hope you guys do. Guys and gals, I know you do. Y'all are smart, intelligent, amazing people. It's fantastic that we have such an amazing community of people here. I love it. Anyways, this is very interesting. Digital assets, including cryptocurrencies. So what other digital assets are they talking about? I don't know because I didn't see it in here. Unless I just missed it. Anyways, have seen explosive growth in recent years, surpassing $3 trillion market cap last November and up from $14 billion just 5 years prior. Surveys suggest that around 16% of adult Americans, approximately 40 million people, have invested in, traded, or used cryptocurrencies. Over 100 countries are exploring or piloting central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, in a digital format of the country's sovereign currency. Who talked about sovereign coins? Who talked about sovereign? Oh yeah, it was Cliff High. It's amazing that system pulls data like that, isn't it? The rise of digital assets creates an opportunity to reinforce American leadership in the global financial system and at the technology frontier, but also has substantial implications for consumer protection. Again, there we go. Financial stability, national security, and climate risk. That little thing on the end there, a little kicker on the end. Interesting, huh? The United States must maintain technological leadership in this rapidly growing space, supporting innovation while maintaining the risk for consumers, businesses, and broader financial system, and the climate. That little kicker. No one's paying attention to that in these talks. I've heard multiple people talk about it. They're not talking about that piece. And it must play a leading role in international engagement and global governance of digital assets, consistent with the democratic values of U.S. global competitiveness. So that little piece right there, reading between the lines, basically they're going to try and strong arm all the other countries in the world to get on board with the policies that they create, so that way there are borders for digital currency. Again, they're not realizing what they're trying to do. They're trying to hold water. And again, even if they build a cup to hold water, it will still evaporate. This is technology first. And I can promise you the people who are involved in this they're looking at this just like I am, and they're laughing. Either they're inside or not, they're laughing. They're laughing because guess what? It's not something they can control. That's why Resident Flashbang will sign. He hasn't signed it yet. Will sign an executive order outlining the first ever whole of government approach in addressing risk and harnessing the potential benefits of digital assets and their underlying technology. In other words, they want to regulate blockchain technology. You can't regulate that stuff. You can't do that. They're going to try. That industry will literally say, no, go away. Jump off a bridge. No, go away. The order lays out a national policy for digital assets across 6 key priorities: consumer, investor, and investor protection, financial stability, illicit finance, U.S. leadership in global finance system, and economic competitiveness, financial inclusion, and responsible innovation. So how is that going to, what's responsible innovation? Innovation is responsible. It is building the future of tomorrow. But then they will shut down Bitcoin. Divvy Daddy, what's up, brother? And can you elaborate, my friend? Protect U.S. consumers, innovations, and businesses. Protect U.S. global financial stability. Mitigate systemic risk by okay, let's see. I'll read just these points. Well, there's a lot of information. You know what? I can spend the rest of the time here reading this. Let's see. Protecting U.S. consumers, investors, and businesses. Oh, yep, nope. That was sarcastic. No, they can't shut it down, dude. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to say. Like when you understand blockchain technology from an infrastructure standpoint, like really getting into the nuts and bolts. When you understand how the chain code underneath interacts and acts like it's literally hardware to a computer. Think of a laptop being hardware. We'll think of the operating system being Bitcoin. Think about the distributed applications or the smart contracts being like your Microsoft Word or your applications that ride on top of that operating system. That's how I look at it. It's a simple, easy way for people to try to understand that this is actually a global compute that is everywhere and yet nowhere. And the reason I say that is because you can take one of the nodes, 50% of the nodes, throw them in the ocean, grab another one off the shelf, turn it back on, and it'll sync with the rest of the network, and it will still run. They could shut down the entire network, the entire internet, and as soon as it came back online, it'd come back up and go keep running. God forbid something major happened and there was like say an EMP and it fried everything. Well, there are people who have full backups of the blockchain sitting in EMP proof containers. And when everything came back up, it would just have to be turned back on. And if there's one master node running, Bitcoin node running anywhere, anyone else connects to it, guess what happens? It rebuilds itself. It cannot be stopped. I continue here. This is by directing Department of Treasury and other agencies partners to assess the development of policy and develop policy recommendations to address the implications of the growing digital asset sector and the changes to financial markets for consumers, investors, businesses, and equitable economic growth. The order also encourages regulators to ensure sufficient oversight and safeguard against any systemic financial risk posed by digital assets. Very good. Very good call out, Joanna. By the way, how are you doing? Good to see you. Makes me wonder if Michael Saylor is part of this and will show his hand shortly. Remember how much Bitcoin he is buying up in educational businesses to purchase it. In education and educating, I guess, businesses to purchase it. Yep. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Protecting U.S. global financial stability and mitigate systemic risk by encouraging Financial Stability Oversight Council to identify and mitigate economic-wide systemic financial risk posed by digital assets, to develop appropriate policy recommendations, and address the regulatory gaps. In other words, they want to be able to sanction anyone and everyone. If you don't hold it yourself, they can't touch you. Anyways. So they want to mitigate the illicit finance and national security risk posed by illicit use of digital assets by directing the unprecedented focus of coordinating action across all relevant U.S. government agencies to mitigate risks. To mitigate these risks, it also directs agencies to work with our allies and partners to ensure international frameworks, capabilities, and partnerships align with re, responsive risk. So basically, they're going to get the rest of the world on board. Promote U.S. leadership in technological and economic competitiveness and to reinforce U.S. leadership in the global financial system. Basically, they want to be in charge of this global currency like they are now. Promote equitable access to safe, affordable financial services. By affirming the critical need for safe, affordable, and accessible financial services, the U.S. national interest, as a U.S. national interest, that must inform our approach to digital assets innovation, including this desperate impact risk. Whatever. Desperate, whatever. I can't ever say that word. Even if I'm reading it, I can't say that word. Such safe access is especially important for communities that have long held insufficient access to financial services. Support technological advances and ensure responsible development and use of digital assets by directing the U.S. government to take concrete steps to study and support technological advances in the responsible development, design, and implementation of digital asset systems while prioritizing privacy, security, combating illicit exploitation, and reducing negative climate impacts. This one is a loaded one. Let me just put it that way. It's a loaded one. Okay. This particular one, they want to create a box in which digital assets have to be built in. In other words, they want specific parameters. In other words, they want backdoors to everything that's done. Privacy, security. I don't want Big Brother looking at my stuff. I don't want Big Brother thinking anything about my security. I got it. Thank you. They're not realizing that the millennial age group and your have lived with technology in their lives pretty much the entire time they've been alive. They have not. The vast majority of people in these positions spent quarter of or half of their lives without technology the way we have it today. They want our systems as we are building them to fit in their boxes. Their box is dying. It's done. They're done. We're not, guys and gals, the innovation is going to continue to run whether they want it to or not, however they want to or not. There's nothing they can do about it. Explore U.S. CBDC by placing urgency on research and development of potential United States CBDC. Should issuance be deemed in the national interest? This year, peeps, is happening, and it's going to fail. The order directs the U.S. government to assess the technological infrastructure and capabilities needs for potential U.S. CBDC in a manner that protects Americans' interests. The order also encourages the Federal Reserve to continue its research, development, and assessment efforts for U.S. CBDCs, including development of a plan for broader U.S. government action in support of their work. This effort prioritizes U.S. participation in multi-country experimentation and ensures U.S. leadership internationally to promote CBDC development that is consistent with the U.S. priorities and domestic values. Basically, IMF's telling El Salvador to stop. El Salvador's giving them a big middle finger saying, screw you and go away. And they can't do anything about it. And they're trying to get ahead of this train now. Thing is, peeps, that train's already left station and it's picked up speed. There's nothing they can do about it. Nothing they can do about it. Last thing I'll read here. Janet Yellen, U.S. Treasury, other departments will publish report on money under Flashbang crypto executive order. Where was it? Under the executive order, the Treasury will partner with interagency colleagues to produce a report on the future of money and payment system, Yellen said, because the questions raised by digital assets often have important cross-border dimensions. We'll work with our international partners to promote robust standards and level the playing field. In other words, we want to control what people do. Now, in the Bitcoin space, in the blockchain space, do you really think they're going to let that happen? No. Nope. Not going to happen. Janet Yellen herself said this is not possible because it's outside of the banking system. They're trying to regulate a technology. That's what they're trying to do. Never been done before that I know of. You guys tell me if that's... Keep me honest. Yellen said that the department would also continue to work with Financial Stability Oversight Council, which convened last year to discuss stablecoins. Now, notice they didn't bring anything up about specific coins in the fact sheet. And now we hear the chairman of the Fed or chairman of the Treasury is talking about stablecoins. The group published a report in December identifying stablecoins and decentralized finance, or DeFi, as two risk areas for U.S. financial stability. I wonder why. Because people can actually make money. Yeah, they can. They don't want you to do that. They want you to stay under their thumb, stay in their debt system, because basically, this is the way I think of it. They think that they're the farmers and that all the people are the cattle, and the cattle broke a fence and they've been trickling out and they're just now realizing it. And like half the cattle are gone. Or the dam broke. Look at that. The dam holding back the water is cracked. Well, it cracked more and it cracked more. Now it's leaking. Guess what happens when a dam leaks? It explodes. That's what's about to happen. Just my 2 cents, people. Just my 2 cents. I know we went long today, but that is a big, huge run of information there. It really is. So, anyhow, it has been, like I said, ran long. I think I'm late for a meeting. So, you guys have a wonderful day. I will talk to you later and take it easy. See you at 4:30 for the Patreon show.